powerfully shift your abundance mindset to show up consistently in your marketing. So if you're watching live, let me know. Would love to see who's here. And if you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, please. So we're looking at the consistency of marketing and the abundance mindset that is required to make that happen. So when you think that it's hard, you end up focusing on what you don't have. Like people don't comment or whatever. And that in itself is not an abundance mindset, because you're already bringing your awareness into what is not there. Like, oh, I didn't have enough likes, or I didn't have enough comments, or nobody purchased this thing I put out. When you do that, you are creating energetically something that is actually opposite of abundance. So it's a scarcity type of energy broadcast. So in a very practical business terms, an application to your business, and doesn't matter what kind of a business you have, but if you're a coach or a healer or a professional of any kind, when you are focusing on something that you don't have, you create more of what you don't have. Okay, that's a really important piece to get, because that's the base of energetics of wealth. Another way how we tend to sabotage is that when you see the result you don't like, it activates, well, why bother doing it? It doesn't work anyway. And that's because you want an external circumstance to give you the experience. That is also counterproductive in the wealth energetics. Because in your business, when you're saying, okay, I want things to work out, I want money to come in, I want clients to purchase my stuff, then I'm going to feel safe. Then I'm going to feel secure. Then I'm going to feel good enough, and so on. If you're doing that, you are running into this issue of sabotaging the abundance that you want to create. So on different levels of business, that looks different. So let's say you're already at multiple six figures. Let's say you have your clients and things are working. You're really good at what you do. You're creating the results and your clients love what you do. But then you put out the post thinking, okay, I'm so excited about this new program that I created. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to announce it, and nobody responds. So that would be still the same thing if at that point you focus on, oh, I didn't get any response on this specific post or that video. And that means, whatever meaning you give it, like I'm not good enough, or the offer is not good enough, or I shouldn't be launching it, or it's a wrong time, and all this other stuff, which then might lead to you either doing too many things, let's fix it, let's micromanaging and over control it to make sure that it works, if you're the doer type. Or if you're more feeling type, that might actually make you feel kind of not good about yourself, and then you don't do. So on a lower level of business, that might look like a typical procrastination. But on a higher level of business, if you're already having a business that is functioning just fine, and you're looking for that next level, the next level client, or a new offer you're creating, or whatever it is that's going to benefit your personal transformation and transformation of your clients, you might run into this, oh, but this specific thing I put out did not create the result I want, so that means, and then the energy starts backpedaling as if you're falling backwards. That is a counterproductive way. It's not an abundance mindset. It's essentially in energetics, it's allowing your interference pattern to sabotage the original intention that you might be having. So for the ones of you who don't know me, I am Eugenia Oganova. I am Wealth Energetics Business and Marketing Coach. So energetics for your business applied into strategy is literally what I do. It's a synergy of business strategy and marketing strategy with energetics and consciousness so that you become self-masterful. It saves you years of pressure and forcing yourself into ineffective strategies because it aligns you to your natural way of doing things. That way you get to only do what actually works for you and create from your focused intention without all these sabotaging things in the way. So another thing that I've seen with the sabotaging abundance in marketing is not repurposing the materials, which then kind of puts you in having to constantly create new stuff. And that's hard on anybody. I mean, we want to be coaching our clients. We want to be working with the people. We want to be creatively designing, whatever your next level program is and so on. So constantly creating content is kind of not the best thing actually to do in your business. It is true that at the beginning of your business, like if you're under 6 figures, you have to create content. You have to create pretty good amount of it that is constantly evolving so that it's bringing in more of your unique brilliance. It's bringing forward more of what you stand for. It's showing you more to your audience. And at that point, you do necessarily need to keep putting yourself out there. But once you're the multiple 6 figures, you probably have a lot of content already. So you have to make sure you clean it up, that it matches your current level of who you're being. But then all of that can be repurposed so that you're not getting stuck in feeling like, oh, I have this obligation energy, like I have to put out this content, I have to do this thing. You actually don't have to anything. It's your business. So if you're running your business and you feel like, that wave of energy is happening and you are tuned to it, that's what it means to be in a flow, that you're actually creating correctly with your business. You're not overdoing or underdoing. You're not creating extra pressure on yourself and lots of content, and you're not creating too little of content, because you do want to make sure that whatever you're putting out is matching your unique way right now, because your energy is evolving, right? So it's not about creating a lot of content. It's about what is the purpose, the essence. And then if you have already existing content and it's applicable, it could just be reused. So then you create a strategy with your content, but you stay in a frequency of abundance and enoughness instead of tracking every little analytic on every little post, because that quite often just sends us back into the energy I was describing earlier. So now, what is the way here to powerfully shift into that abundance mindset? All right, so let's look at that. Recognizing what is your natural rhythm is the key. This is what I call the soul design. This is how you're made in this lifetime. This is essentially like your natural way. Some people are really fast. They like speed. Some people are immediate implementers. Other people need to have space for themselves. Their speed might be much slower. Maybe you are the type that, put in the comments, what kind of type are you? Do you feel like you're more of a speedy person? Like you just want fast, 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 and you have the energy for that? Do you feel like you're the type that implements right away and then just sees what happens? Like you're kind of apply, do, and then see the result, like testing, experimenting? Or you're the type that's more kind of slower going and likes to deepen into things and kind of feel them through? That's a very different type of a person. So put in the comments if that's the way that you normally kind of function. There is no right and wrong. We all design differently. But those natural rhythms could be mistranslated when we don't allow ourselves to be ourselves. So if, let's say, you're a very fast speed person and you were told that you're too fast, you need to slow down, you're too intense, you're too much, and then you're trying to be sweet and nice and slow and easygoing and all that, when actually you're very intense and direct, that will be a problem. That will actually sabotage your abundance energetics. So instead of the energy with which you want to create, you will end up with a diluted force. And that is going to act against you instead of for you. Or the other way around, if you, let's say, are a person who's naturally likes to have space, and then in that space, that's where amazing revelations and insights happen. That's where your creativity lives. That means you need to automate some of your consistent showing up, because you wouldn't be able to do that following your natural rhythm. Because if that kind of person tries to show up and post twice a day and network and all the groups and everything, they would just fry their nervous system, because that's not natural for them. So they would need to do that interactive thing, as in writing content or whatever that they need to talk to their audience, make videos, when they are inspired and recharged. And then that perhaps would have to be put out in some sort of a scheduler or something, so it posts on time and your audience gets to see you, but you don't have to be personally involved doing that very thing all the time. I know for some people, live interaction is way easier than non-live. You know, they might try to make a video and it's super stressful and it's just not natural. And then it becomes an inconsistent way of showing up in their marketing versus, let's say, doing a live stream and realizing, oh my goodness, this is so easy. I don't have to do any programming, coding, downloading. I just show up. I have an idea. I talk about it. I have a overall strategy and I know what the call to action is, but I get to interact with people. Maybe they get to ask you questions and then you respond. That's another thing, by the way. Some natural rhythms, natural types are in response to life, which means you need the question to come to you to activate your wisdom. Some people are the other way around. Like, I don't need a question to come in. I naturally am a fountain, like energy comes out of me. So that's why my natural way is, you know, I produce a lot of content, but it's not due to pressuring myself. It's just I have a lot to say. But if you're the type that kind of feels like, I don't know what to say, I don't have anything to say, when you know you're awesome, you're brilliant, your clients have great results, and obviously if your business is working and you're having clients that are loving you, you are creating amazing value. But then if you go in front of a video camera, you kind of freak out and suddenly don't have anything to say, that's a clue that you're the response type, which means you need to have somebody ask you questions. So you would do really well if you either had another person on live with you that just had a list of questions and they would be asking you. So it's like a conversation. So they're not really fully talking. You're talking most of the time, but they are asking you questions. Or it could be pre-written questions. You could, you know, have your friends, your clients just pull out whatever questions people ask you that you want to talk about and then literally say it as a question. Well, people ask me a lot this, and, you know, what I usually say is, and then you just go. That might be tremendously easier for you, and you would never find yourself again not knowing what to say. All of that is a switch in the abundance mindset so that you can actually create consistency in your marketing. So recognizing that natural design is a key that simplifies everything in your consistency. Another component is detaching from the outcome. When we are overly attached to the outcome, we put too much charge on it. Too much charge on it actually sabotages our intentions. So, for example, in a very practical way, you decided you're going to launch your program. You're launching your program. It's not working the way that you envisioned it. So that specific energy, if you have attachment, would look like, that means I am not good enough. That means something is wrong with my program. That means my offer is not great, or whatever else. My pricing is wrong, or whatever story you tell yourself. Those are all stories that are kind of meant to uphold our feeling, you know, the feeling we're having about something not working because of the attachment. If there is no attachment, what that would look like is that I am great, valuable, my offer is great, I love what I'm doing, and I would love to sell this program. And if it doesn't sell, I'm still great, valuable, and my offer is great. I'll just gonna try in a different way, or I'll be creative inventing, or I'll tune in and use my intuition as to what can I do to make that happen. But whatever that might be, notice how there is no grasping. There is more like, oh, if it works out, awesome. If it doesn't work out, I'll just, you know, find a way, and maybe something better will come along. Maybe it's not the right timing, and then the other thing will happen, and then it will work. In other words, when you don't put the charge, the pressure on it, you actually free out the creation. So now the creation can happen freely without you trying to control it. So that's another huge change in the abundance mindset in order to help you to actually create what you would like. All right. And the third one, the third change in the abundance mindset is to decide what you want to focus on and do so no matter what. This is a pretty difficult thing for some people that don't have enough of a self-discipline in their consciousness. But this is definitely a skill that could be learned by anybody. It's just like anything else, it takes practice. And with practice, you can be very masterful at that skill. That is the decision, and then sticking to your decision. So whatever you decided to focus on, after a while, your brain begins to show you evidence for that specific thing. So if you consistently focusing on, let's say, gratitude, then after a while, your external reality will begin to show you more things to be grateful for. If you consistently focusing on abundance, like I am already wealthy, I already have everything I need, or safety, I am safe no matter what, or freedom, I am already free, wow, I am very much capable of just doing anything I desire, thinking, feeling anything I want. So when you go into whatever those energies are for you that's important for you, you then start to have that reflected to you more by external world. It will start to show you that very same frequency, because this is how our brains are designed. There's literally a part of our brain that is looking for evidence of what you believe. So if you consistently focusing on a specific thing, that acts as a belief. That programs your brain, and after a while it moves it from the prefrontal cortex into reticular activating system part of your brain. And that then starts to show you the proof of whatever you believe. So if you believe that, oh, there's not enough high-level clients, then the world will show you there's not enough high-level clients. If you believe that there are plenty of clients that just dying to work with you, then people will start coming to ask and inquire about your services, because you are consistently telling your brain a specific message that you're focusing on, and then the reality begins to reflect that message, and your brain picks up that information. So all of these things, it's pretty much the energetics of how you run your business. It's infusing your marketing strategy with consciousness of energetics in order to create that consistent flow and ease and better results with your marketing. This is exactly the things that I'm going to be covering in my event. It's a conscious wealth activation. It's happening very soon, and I would love to have you there. It's free at the moment, so if you would love to sign up, great. The link is in up there or down, whatever the description of this video is from the thing you're watching. It's 5 days to powerfully shift your internal state to quantum leap into wealth energetics of a multi-six-figure business. So this will help you tremendously. I will teach on many different components of the energetics that apply to your business. I mean, I am a business strategist and marketing strategist, so there is definitely a lot of strategy, but in a way that if you just shift your energetics, your perspective on how you've been thinking about it or been doing it, it will make a huge difference. Tiny little shifts that people kind of have this, oh, wow, I never thought about it. And then you apply it and you go like, wow, that works so much better. I feel better. It seems to be easier and so on. That's because it actually works. So this type of information is exactly what I teach my clients. So here in the Conscious Wealth Activation, I'm going to take parts of what I teach my clients, like the most juicy parts that are really important, and show them to you experimentally, like you can actually enter the energies and play with them yourself and apply that onto your business strategy. So we'll look at expanding your wealth container. That's your capacity to attract and hold more wealth. We're going to look at applying the wealth energetics onto your branding and positioning so that you're insanely memorable to your clients and recognizable in the world marketplace. We will also utilize the energetics of your next level client correctly so that you can create that consistent flow of the type of people you actually want to work with. We will also look at the wealth energetics of money, as in whatever in a way of you attracting money, what do you need to do to create the consistent inflow so you get paid consistently. And we will also adjust the wealth energetics of sales process, because you need to be able to sell those offers and to do so without feeling salesy or out of integrity, but to do so in a way that feels very congruent and you actually can get paid and get paid well. So I would love to see you in my Conscious Wealth Activation event. It's happening very soon. The link is in the description. So click on a link. It will take you to a page where you can opt in, and I will see you there. My love to you. Bye-bye.